Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to my American Horror Story Cult After Show. Today we are discussing the episode called Valerie Solanas Died for Your Sin, Scumbag. Lena Dunham starred in this episode playing Valerie Solanas, and she's not one of my favorites. But just to school you guys a little bit on who Valerie Solanas is, she was a radical feminist who did shoot Andy Warhol. That actually did happen in the real world. Some haters might say that Lena Dunham is playing a slightly exaggerated version of herself. Just jokes, guys, just jokes. But seriously, look up Valerie Solanas on the internet. It's a good read. Now, to start out the episode, we actually go back to the 60s where we watch Valerie shoot Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol is played by none other than Evan Peters. Because who can't he play? Evan Peters can just totally play whatever character he wants, okay? And he does Andy Warhol quite flawlessly, if I do say so myself. Cut back to present day, Kai's little stunt with Meadow shooting him and killing other people actually works in his favor. Is anybody shocked by that? The fear of God is put in the entire city and they elect the guy. Kai is down to celebrate, but Beverly, on the other hand, is not so down. Now remember, Beverly helped Kai because he convinced her that the two of them could burn the world to the ground. So essentially, she's feeling pretty used. Now, she's getting off of work and she has a surprise guest waiting in front of her car. No one she knows, but someone we all know. The amazingly talented Frances Conroy returns to American Horror Story, not a moment too soon. Honestly, if it wasn't for her and Evan Peters playing Andy Warhol, I probably wouldn't have got through this episode. So now Frances is playing a character, and I forget her name, but she was the girlfriend of Valerie Solanas. Beverly takes her to a meeting with all the girls of the cult, and she gives her story. And that story took up the entire episode. I'm gonna give you the short condensed version. Basically, Valerie had an army of a girl gang, or more like a cult. And that cult went on a killing spree. So Valerie's intention is to kill all men because she thinks all men are scum. She even wrote a book about it, Scum Manifesto. Look it up. Anyway, her goal was to kill all men, but she had to make an example of some women too, preferably women that were with men. So she and her girl gang end up killing a couple of couples. So now, as Frances is telling the story to the girls, some of the girls pick up the fact that the couples that she mentions were couples killed by that of the Zodiac Killer. And if you guys are an American Horror Story fan like I am, you would remember in the season Hotel that we actually seen the Zodiac Killer during Devil's Night. So we have a connection, sort of, but we're learning that it was the girls that were behind the Zodiac killings, so what? Was the Zodiac Killer invited there out of false pretenses? Did Mr. March know this? Anyway, Valerie fully confessed to being behind the Zodiac killings, but no one believed her, and she basically went crazy. She became schizophrenic, and her whole girl gang left her, including Frances's character. You know what? I'm just gonna look up what character she's playing. Bibi Babbitt. So Frances okay, no. So Bibi basically wants to carry on the tradition and set up a new girl gang to defeat men who deserve to be defeated. And a new girl gang is born and they are out for blood. Meanwhile, Kai is having an emotional moment with his dead parents in their bed. Winter goes there to check on him and they have a nice brother-sister moment. They talk about their family bond, yada yada, brother-sister love, always committed to each other. And then Kai pulls out this scum drawing that he found in Winter's room. And so right there, I'm like, okay, Kai's onto them for sure. But apparently that doesn't register with Winter. Apparently he was too convincing, but not to me, so yeah, dumb. He's like clearly messing with her head, thinking about how he wants to start a name for their group. One of the names he gives is Men Lead, Women Bleed. And of course she's kind of mad about it. And Kai was just like, oh, well, Harrison said it. And I'm watching this episode like, girl, you know that he's setting you up to kill Harrison. He knows what you're doing. And so they set a trap for him and they do end up killing Harrison. Ironically enough, Ivy is the one that did the dirty work and sawed him in half, which is kind of weird when you think of how, like, mortified she was to kill the other guy. But it was a thing that happened. Harrison is dead. Beverly did the news broadcast and everything. I'm like, well done, girls. Kai played the hell out of you. And evidently, he wasn't the only one. Turns out, Bibi Babbitt, I fucking hate that name, Bibi Babbitt is working with Kai as well. So is any of that shit she said true? I don't know. But that's how the episode ends. Honestly, I tried to be as enthusiastic as possible while telling this story to you, but I did not enjoy the episode really at all. Like I said before, the only saving grace for me was Evan Peters playing Andy Warhol and Frances Conroy being back. So as such, my ratings for this episode is 2 twisty heads out of 5. 1 for Evan Peters and 1 for Frances Conroy, and that's it. It was not my favorite. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my review of this episode. If you'd like to give it a big old thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my channel if you want to, but I'm not gonna make you do it. Join me, and I will catch you guys next week.